Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your favorite girl here, Ella. I'm a final year law student at the University of Birmingham. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for riding with me through this journey. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you get notified whenever I post my videos, and leave me a comment on this video whilst watching or after in the end if you have any questions or comments on what your favorite part of the video is. In today's video, we are joined by the wonderful and beautiful Kate.
Oh, shucks.
Say hello, Kate.
Hi.
Yeah, Kate is a law student like myself in University of Birmingham, and she's here to grant this amazing interview. You know, cut out some time for us out of her busy schedule, and I'm serious. And we're doing this interview today for you all. So, hello, Kate.
Hi, Ella. Thanks for having me on the channel.
You're welcome.
Hi, subscribers.
Hi, subscribers. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, yeah. So my name's Kate. I'm in the second year of the LLB for Grads program. I'm from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And yeah, I've been out in the UK for now coming on just over a year and a half.
Yeah.
And been kind of like enjoying the law program and really nice meeting everybody, and it's been a really unique experience. But yeah, I think all in all I've really enjoyed it so far, and I'm excited for the interview.
That's great. Thank you. Okay, we'll just jump right into it with the first question of what was your educational background before coming into the law school here in UK? Because you're in the 2-year accelerated program. So what did you do for undergrad before coming here?
Yeah, so my undergrad before coming here is I have my, it's a Bachelor of Arts degree in philosophy with a minor in political science from the University of Calgary. I finished my degree on the tail end of COVID, so which was a really, really interesting way to do it. It was like, I think it was my last year is when kind of COVID happened, or like kind of my second last year or so. And then, we were in classes one week, and then we got the email saying,
lockdown.
Hey guys, stop showing up. And then we're like, well, what are we going to do? So especially like philosophy, so much like discussion. So it was really unsure on how we were going to figure it out. But so it's been nice being back in actual school and classrooms and stuff like that again.
Yeah. So did you just always want to go to law school then? Because, you know, philosophy, minor in politics, but how did law school come about for you? Yeah,
I think I did know for a long time that I wanted to do law. I always saw law as a way to kind of like promote justice and stuff like that. I know that can be very like lofty or
is it
idealistic. Yeah, it's a good way to, you can really help people through the law and make meaningful impact. So I knew I wanted to do law, and then I heard from people that like philosophy was a good way to do it. And I always really loved social studies in high school. So I was like, let's give it a shot. I started an open study. So I was like, I'll take some philosophy classes and see how it sticks. And then I accidentally, not knowing how the university class ranking thing. So I took like a third year class immediately. I was like 18. I was like, and I did so poorly.
That happened with your university too. Like they let us choose whatever we want.
Yes, I know. And they but they don't tell you what.
No, they don't tell you what. So if you take a course that you don't need, then it's like,
especially if you're like not in like a solid program.
Undecided.
Yeah, exactly. Undecided. You can just like do whatever you want. I'm like, I will. So I don't think I did particularly well, but I really liked the content of it. It was like really so excited to go to class, and you really felt like so focused and engaged in the content of it. So I ended up loving philosophy, and then kind of coming out of it, I was like, I was able to get some experience in like a law firm, and I could see kind of how that connection between philosophy and law happened. And so I ended up, and I was like, a good way for me to use like those kind of like critical analysis skills and those things I love about philosophy, but be able to use it to help people.
Applying the law, Okay, that's a good story. I haven't heard that before, so thank you for sharing it with all of us on the channel.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to come to the UK and not stay in Canada instead?
Yes, I did. So initially my plan was actually to stay in Canada. I wrote the LSAT.
You did?
Yes.
Brave!
I right? You know what? It's like the sick part about it.
You liked it?
It's essentially kind of like philosophy in a way, which I feel like I've already said that word a million times.
That's
but
fine.
It's a lot of like reading comprehension, like analytical arguing, and logic games, which is always, I know. So you didn't write it at all?
No, I didn't. I paid a lot to learn about it, but I just did not. Like, I wasn't sure about it. I didn't write it.
Yeah, you weren't sure.
I wasn't sure.
That, you know what? It's super overwhelming to do.
It is.
And then especially doing the practice, like you have to put so much time and effort into it. So yeah, I did write it twice, and I did okay. And then I also had like my undergrad marks and stuff like that. And so I applied to Canadian law schools one round, got I think waitlisted on some, rejected by a lot. And
your loss.
We'll see. Yeah, exactly. You know what? I think it ended up working out well. So yeah, and then I really kind of appraised it. I was like, well, I know this is what I really want to do. So, and I'm going to try one more time. Let's see if if this doesn't work out, then maybe I have to reevaluate something, or maybe I just keep on working as like a legal assistant, or find another way to approach the law. So, I applied to Canadian universities again, and I also applied to the UK ones. And then I got waitlisted on a bunch of Canadian universities, but got into all of my UK choices. And I was like, yeah, you know what?
And it's 2 years too.
It's 2 years. I know it's what I want to do. I know it's like a big change.
A huge change.
Yeah, a big decision to make. But
lots of more money too, because like Canadian dollars to pounds is not even nice.
No. You kind of, I think for your sanity, you just have to kind of not think about it as, you have to like be smart with your money and budget, but you can't really think about it that much. And then I just got into the University of Birmingham, and I was like, I know this is what I want to do. It's 2 years, and I know I can work really hard and do quite well, and then be able to come home and do it that way. And I ended up through working in a law firm, I met tons of people that have done this before.
Gone through the UK route?
Yeah, gone through the UK route.
Oh. And you worked as a legal assistant in the law firm?
Yeah, I worked as a legal assistant, and I was like telling people, like kind of talking to people about, I was thinking about it even before I even like really decided I want to apply to UK schools. I was talking to people and be like, I'm thinking about going to the UK, and they're like, yeah, you should totally do it. Like they really like their experience from it. And then they were able to get jobs coming back and work and be in similar positions how I thought I wanted, like be associates and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what I wanted to be in. Yeah,
that's really good. How did your work experience now before coming into UK? How long did you do that for?
I did that for about, I always round up to about 2 years. I think is how we're like a year and a half, 2 years or so. So like not terribly too long,
but it's still a lot of it. I mean, I don't have that like full-time like experience of law and practice before coming to learn about the theory. So like what were your duties like? How did you find that your work in practice actually translated, like when we started learning criminal law, family law, whatever reality?
I think it's funny because you even hear this from Canadian law students when they go work in a law firm, that it's so different. Like everything that you learn in school, it's like learning in a totally different way when you're actually in a law firm. In practice. And then, but I think it gave me a good idea of like the bigger picture of the law. So when we're in class and we're learning about like contract disputes and stuff like that, we're kind of looking at it like almost like under a microscope. But I think working in a law firm helped me give a little bit of perspective of like this is like kind of what it would look like on the bigger scale.
So we told a story. Yeah. You put more context to it as opposed to just learning like, because contract cases could be from the 1800s. Yeah. And totally. We were never given a lot of context. It was just, this is the case, this is the rules, this is how you apply it, and these are the exceptions. So I guess like an actual experience of what the law is in practice gave you a better idea. Yeah, exactly. It helps me contextualize, I think, the stuff that we're learning about, like what this kind of look like in practice. And I mean, all like those kind of basic office administration skills were also super helpful, like doing kind of any like professionalism things, like writing emails, scheduling, and I think it's also helped me in just knowing like what the workload required too. And also in the same light, I felt like it was really helpful because when I'm doing all this studying and stuff like that, and I'm in law school, and it feels like even this time last year, feeling like, being an actual lawyer is so far away. At least it gave me that idea of like, I know what the end like actually looks like. It had a nice tangible. There's a bit of certainty. Exactly. amazing.
Which I think is like really motivating. It's like it's like that, like when you're going for a run or you're and that kind of stuff, you like see the finish line at the end, and like when you that moment that you actually see it, and then you can just it gives you that motivation to run a little bit harder,
to get there,
to run it. So I think that really helps.
Put it into perspective. Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah,
I'm jealous of your experience.
I was really lucky. I know like at least in Alberta, what you can do is you can become a legal assistant by doing like, I think it's a year or 2 long course. And it really just gives you like the very basics of the law, like, and then civil procedure kind of stuff. I was really lucky. I had a family friend who like needed a legal assistant pretty quickly. And like her and I did like just some basic filing for her before. She's like, hey, does Kate want to come in and be my legal assistant? So I was really like thrown in. And I think
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was I feel really grateful. For those experiences. And I think also having to learn like that way, just like I learned about the law, my basic understanding of it, really hands-on.
Yeah.
And doing it that way rather than taking any like courses about it.
Yeah, that's true. Because like the lawyers themselves would guide you through that path. So it's a thing of I'm learning, but at the same time I'm getting the experience. Instead of spending like a year going to learn about what it is that you need before coming into the law firm. You're just doing it side by side, so it kind of saves time as well, and probably money, because I would imagine that you have to pay to learn what that is.
Yes, you do. So that was really helpful about it. But I'm really grateful for the experience. I will say that going into law school, I thought that I would be the only person. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have such an advantage. I was like a little bit on my high horse about it. I was like, oh yeah, I know the law. Yeah. And then you come in, and then like there's also like, I mean, like even Julie, who you've interviewed as well. Like she worked as a legal assistant too.
Julie was Montreal.
Yeah, but it's all like different perspective. Even no matter what you do, every legal assistant's experience is kind of different.
Yeah, I think the only actual practical experience I had was this was with a criminal law firm as well, and also informally, I was in undergrad at that time. It was during the 5 months York University strike, the longest strike in history.
Oh my gosh!
I met a lawyer too, and she was a criminal defense lawyer, and it was a thing of, oh, I'm really, really interested in law, and she just also brought me in, and from then on, I started, helping her out with like cases, what was it I was doing? Filing, transcribing documents, like different little things, I would say, the admin side of it. And then I ended up also going to court with her sometimes. And that was how I determined that I also don't want to do criminal law.
Yes.
So it that one made me aware of what it was. And like now in law school, I kind of know this is an area that I don't want to go into based on what I have seen and experienced in that light. But I didn't have the full-time or like up to 2 years experience, but I think it's pretty good if people are watching this and it's something that you have the opportunity to take on before going to law school. It might be good for you to take on that experience as well, because it's helped us, Kate, Julie, and myself in like a certain way.
Absolutely, yeah. Even like attending court, like if you get the opportunity just to go down to a courtroom and see kind of like what the legal aspect looks like, I do think it helps like kind of give perspective on it, and big thing of knowing what you do want to do and what you don't want to do, because sometimes you don't realize you're actually in those spaces.
That's very true. Yeah. That's true. All right, thank you for giving us that work experience bit. We're going to circle back now to the University of Birmingham and kind of talk about extracurricular activities, because Kate is a welfare officer for the University of Birmingham Canadian Society. Kate is a good position.
Welfare.
Kate is super organized.
Very nice.
I don't want to say you keep us in check, but you actually do keep us in check. So it's like we'll plan for some things, and Katie's like, okay, I'm on it. I'm creating this document for this. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm like, you take on a lot for the team, and I'm really, really super thankful for you, because you volunteer a lot to do a lot of the actual work of the things that we've planned out, and I guess it's an opportunity for me to say thank you for that.
Oh, well, thank you. That means a lot. And
I just wanted to ask, in addition to this extracurricular activity that has to do with student societies, what other tasks are you taking on? So from the Kepler handle of things, and how do you manage everything with full-time studies of law school?
Right. Yeah. Especially we're kind of talking about this before, like this semester has been a lot. I think especially things like accumulate from the first year and carry over. So this year I'm involved in, I have pro bono as well, so I'm doing FLAG, which is the free legal advice group at the University of Birmingham. So where you get to like meet with clients, discuss their issues, and then apply it, and then write them a letter of advice. And I'm also involved in negotiation competition this year, which is very exciting.
Yeah,
and
I got into negotiation too. Yeah,
I know.
Did.
Yeah, we both did.
I need to ask you a question about that off camera.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, absolutely. I know.
Okay.
It's the interesting thing. This is definitely a side note.
And you did mooting too. Were you like a super mooter? Like you got...
I wish it said on the thing super moot, but I did get best advocate, which was pretty good. My boyfriend says he calls me the MVP. He said I got the MVP award.
Well, you are.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. It was pretty cool. That was like one of the things I knew going to law school I wanted to do. And it was something I wasn't really sure if I would be good at. It's like
evidently you were good at it.
Yeah, I was really surprised. But part of it was also the legal experience helped because I knew when I was going up there and advocating, I was pretending to be a lawyer.
Yeah, because you've seen it a lot too.
Yeah, exactly. So that's really what you do when you're going up and doing or like for some of these like advocacy stuff is you're putting on the role of like this is what a lawyer would do.
Okay. So negotiation, mooting,
pro bono. I'm also a student mentor. As well. So, which is a lot of kind of what we do for the Canadians, like what I'll do for the Canadian Society is like I'll prepare like resources and stuff like that, building documents. I'm constantly just always asking like first year students, I'm like, do you need help with anything? Do you like to the point where they're very probably annoyed with me at this point, but
it's good because like I was also in a mentor group in first year going in, and I think the group was only active once or twice. Yeah, so to hear that you're putting in work and people are, whether you know it or not, people are benefiting from that, because sometimes people might think that they have all the information, but if you're in the University of Birmingham, there's no way you have all the information coming in as a first year student. So if you're bugging them with updates, there's someone that's definitely thankful for that.
Yes, well, yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, and it's nice just being able to. It gives me a moment too to reflect on what did I need in that kind of spot when I was in their same position last year, and be able to come back, and it's always fun. It's nice, good way to meet people, and but the same thing. I wish I was supported kind of in the same way. We weren't as active.
It's fine. Yeah. How do you balance your time with all of this? Because school is also full-time work too, and that's like now you've mentioned, although you did mooting in first year, so now you've mentioned negotiation, welfare officer, being a mentor, and pro bonos. These are 4 separate part-time to full-time things, but you're doing full-time school. How are you balancing it all?
Yeah, I will be honest, I don't have a lot of free time on my hands.
None of us do.
Nobody. Yeah, I know, exactly. Nobody does. I know. I can't remember the last time I watched a full episode of a TV show.
I cannot.
Yeah, I know. It's just there's no time.
Just Judge Judy for me. Everything else pisses me off. I tried to watch a movie the other day and I was just upset. I'm like, I don't have time for this. And I felt bad.
I like that of like being also like it's the movie's fault. Like,
yeah, it is.
Why would you make Peter Jackson? Why did you make a 4-hour-long movie?
You couldn't engage me in the first part.
Yes, you couldn't. No.
Sorry.
I need like YouTube short like summaries of it. My TikTok usage has increased for content, I think, just for that entirely. So yeah, I mean, a big part of it is I rely heavily on my calendar app. Not only, I'm
sorry.
No, I'm glad that it resonates though.
I'm sorry. Okay, keep going.
No,
keep going. Okay.
No, I rely heavily on my calendar app. I use it a lot for not only I got my class schedule on there, scheduling like meetings with people, study rooms, and then also just like it looks like kind of wild from the outside, but I will like block time of like this is a period where I'm going to study this.
And do you actually do it?
I try to the best I can. Ooh, those days, there's definitely like full days where like I know I'm supposed to be like I see my little calendar line. It's like, oh right, like do employment law readings right now, and I'm sending like 40 other, and I'm still trying to catch up on the rest of my day.
Yeah.
But
at least it's there.
It's there, and then I usually just know like okay, like even one day off, as long as doesn't mean I shouldn't stick to it the next day and keeping up on top of it.
Yes.
And it's even like scheduling stuff like this is. A break period sometimes too. If like I have to at least give myself like 30 minutes just to like sit and do nothing or relax. And I also a big part of it is like when I do have free time is trying to prioritize things that kind of like make me feel good and like give me a general sense of wellness. So it'll be like honestly like scheduling time to like meditate or work out or read a book, and just things that make me like either make my body feel good
from
or
the hustle and bustle of school, and it's
yeah,
like your self-care time. Self-care is the
that's
word.
exactly it's either that makes my body feel good or my brain feel good, and that's been really important in trying to schedule everything, and also knowing too that like just in general I'm not going to be able to get to everything, but making sure I'm prioritizing those things, especially at the time, like what's ever important, making sure I do that really well.
Okay. Okay, that's good. And creating your own schedule too takes time. That was what I also find. Like it could take me like an hour plus to prepare what I had to do for the week. So I'm like, I use the note app. I use my reminders. I also handwrite my stuff on my schedule, and then in another like tiny other paper that I have. Because in my mind, like the more I write it, the more I can remember. Like if I'm writing this on Sunday, if I write it 3 times, on Thursday I can remember what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah. So and like it's crazy. I don't know.
Absolutely. And creating like those, like having like a list and like some checklists sometimes of being like that's done.
Yeah, it makes me feel good.
It does. It's a reward. Yes, just being able to cross something off the list is a reward in itself. Sometimes I'll put like even just a small thing on the list will be like laundry or like
it's a lot. Laundry. Don't even get me started.
Oh, I know. I'm sisyphus. I don't know why I do laundry just to create more laundry. It's so bad. It's unfortunately the human condition.
It's big wins regardless. Like cooking, doing dishes, groceries, because you got to do everything by yourself. It's not like we have family support here where you say, okay, if I'm coming back, then someone's already made dinner or whatnot. But you have to essentially, I schedule everything like cook time, gym time, and it has to most likely go in accordance with the schedule at least. I don't know. Otherwise, everything just crashes down.
And it doesn't feel good when it like...
No, I can't go to sleep. Like if I don't accomplish 75% of what's on that list, I'm in bed and I'm thinking about why I should have done that. And before you know it's 2 a.m., before you know it's 6 a.m., I have to stand up again and go to the gym. It's just...
Part of it is being proactive too, I think, to a certain extent. Like if I know I have a seminar on a Thursday, I do want to kind of start working on it at least a week ahead, or like look at like the seminar sheet and be able to kind of contemplate it and know that I have that there before, because I'm very much not a last minute person. So like I need to have all that.
Yeah, Kate's very organized, so I can see that.
That's very nice. Yes, it does. And like it doesn't always feel like it, because it like having taken so much on the plate, it feels like I'm constantly like in chaos. But I think when it comes down to it, it's organized. But it's
okay, that's good to know. And then I think my final question for you will be, what has your experience been like as an international student in the UK? So for example, what are the differences between Birmingham and Calgary, your experience in uni while you were in Canada versus here? It doesn't only have to be about your school experience, so living experience or whatever, for example. What do you think your general experience has been?
Yeah, I guess like living in the UK in general, I would say my expectation coming into it is I thought that it would be a lot more similar to Canada, actually. But you
can see me shaking my head.
But it really
it's different.
Yeah, and I think from like an outsider's perspective, and maybe like from people at home, they don't like notice how different it is, right? Because it seems like I'm just going through my normal routine. But it's those small things that you like accumulate in your routine, and then when you're out here and it's slightly different, it kind of just like throws you off kilter is usually the word I've been using. So yeah, it's like just not, or it's like it's transit being totally different. I know. Constant.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, or like being like stuff like even if I wanted to go on those late night study, when I want to go grab like a Red Bull or something like that, I always have to make sure I have my ID with me, because they're going to ID me for Red Bull, or like
They ID you for really?
Caffeine, yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so energy drinks, you have to be 16 or older. So I know when they ask me for my ID, they're like 16. I'm like,
Red Bull.
Yeah, I know.
That's a compliment.
It's been a long way from 16.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, because they also, I remember when I was in my first grocery shopping as well, not even grocery, like just other items. And I know I didn't have alcohol on my list, but they asked me for an ID. I'm like, why do you need my ID? And they said, you're getting a knife. I'm like, there's no knife here. And they said, well, the cutlery you have, like a fork and a knife. I'm like, really, for a table knife, you need to see my ID for that? But apparently there's a lot of stabbings in the UK, so that's why.
You don't think, like, if you don't know, you don't think.
You know, it was my second day. I put it up in one of the vlogs too. It's like, okay, but now to hear about Red Bull, like it's
Red Bull, yeah, I know. And yeah, portion sizes being different too. Like, I know, like, when I like go to like get fast food and I want like a large soda or something like that, it's a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Or like
they take their health very seriously.
They take it very seriously,
and everything expires pretty quickly.
Yes, or like double cream versus like I'm looking for like full fat cream or whatever. Like we usually use the percentages and stuff like that. This just sound like all like very small stuff.
It
accumulates.
It's like you're like, why are you doing it this way? And like, this is how we've always done it. Like you're the outsider here who does it.
Yes, exactly. And a big part of it, I mean, we lean, and with that, and just kind of in general with, especially at like the University of Birmingham, there's so many Canadian students.
Yes.
And I think we do lean on each other quite a bit in that way for like to recognize those like what differences and just be able to adjust to. And then it's that like we're in this kind of weird situation, and then also the time difference is huge. Like something like
that's even worse than Toronto, because that's what, like 8 hours.
Yeah, 7 hours. Yeah, except for and then when like those weeks that we that daylight savings is going on in one country, not the other.
Yes, 8 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's something to get used to. But yeah, so we do rely heavily on each other too, because for most of my morning, most of my day, the only people I talk to are people here because everybody else is
asleep. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been a big like thing adjusting to. It's you're kind of almost starting from scratch in a certain way. Like you still have those people at home, and when you're lucky that people like stay up late to chat, or if my boyfriend's like up late at night or like really early in the morning, we'll get to talk longer. But that's been a big adjusting period as well too, and it's something as big being like an older student too.
Yeah, there's something about it.
It's really interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if you cried a lot coming, but like I've always been an international student throughout my university career. So but when I was younger, it was all an adventure for me, and I never I never even cried going in through my first year of undergrad. But coming here last year, I was bawling in the airport. I'm like, I'm older than this. Why am I crying?
What do you think that? Do you think that's like being older doing it, or what do you think that is?
That was what someone was telling me. Maybe it's like with age, and it's not like I'm really old or whatever. It's
no, I know. I talk to that all the time with seniors. I
don't know. It's like with age, and you get to get more in tune with your emotions and your feelings and blah blah. I'm like, I don't need none of that. I already paid tuition. Like let's keep going. I'm not about to start crying, but I cried last year when I was coming back in January. I cried again, and I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I think being in Canada, and I have I have family in Canada now, as opposed to like when I moved and didn't really know anyone. Yeah. So I was just going on my journey by myself. So, but the thought of I'm leaving people behind, and just thinking about, especially time difference plays a huge role. It's different when you're not with like your family or your friends or your loved ones physically. It's very, very different. So I think just all the emotions work. So I don't know if you cried a lot because you didn't cry.
No, I did. No, so yeah, no, I'm like, no, I totally understand. And I think leaving's almost worse. Being the person that's going.
Oh yeah, it's worse.
Even now, like we go to the my boyfriend will drive me to the airport, and I'm like bawling. He's like, "Why are you so upset?" Yeah. I'm I know that I'm also going back to like a really high pressure situation being in law school, which I think also the pressure of leaving your loved ones and then moving to something where like. This is
just fast-paced.
Yeah, and probably honestly, like the high stress is like where you'd want your loved ones the most, and you don't always have access to it. So that's why
that's true.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. I actually think the emotional like the school can be difficult.
School's hard, but emotions too.
Yeah, and the nice thing about school is you do have like control over a certain aspect. I know I can like study harder and stuff like that, but the like mental health and like emotional stuff that you have to grapple with is really And but it's good skills to learn. I actually think it does make you, or like makes people like more mentally tough almost in a way, or it's a good opportunity. It's a tough time to have to like work on these skills. But I think coming home, at least for myself, I think I've improved in certain ways. Yeah.
I mean, you made it here. There's some people who started with us and they didn't continue. We're still in the law school, literally.
So fair.
We're still in the law school too, and like gaining these experiences and skills too. So I'm really happy that at least to some extent we have like similar experiences, which is good.
Absolutely.
I don't think I have any more questions, but if you have questions for me, I'm open to answer them.
Yeah. So the one actually I wrote down.
You wrote them down?
Oh, I wrote one. Yeah, I wrote one down. Is I want to know what kind of I'm asking for myself, and I always think it's fun to share and give people ideas of like what are some self-care practices
For me?
Yeah, for yourself. What do you do to like treat yourself to make yourself feel good about everything or comfort?
So here in the UK, I'm just going to talk about my UK experience because my undergrad experience in Canada was way different in terms of self-care. I think I always talk about your Judy, but I always watch her. So that's one thing. Just I could be cooking or doing something else, working out. I just have it playing in the background. I go to the gym. I started prioritizing the gym in my second year, and I feel like I've seen the difference. So in the sense that I wake up really early, I work out, so my brain is already moving before coming to class. So I'm already kind of aware of my surroundings, as opposed to in first year where it's just wake up, eat, come to class, and like do it over and over again. So gym, Judy,
Jim and Judy.
Lots of music. I think I also talk to family members as well. I have family members everywhere. I have family members in like Nigeria, in Canada, in the US. So there's different time zones for every single person, and I just try to, we work it out during the week. So try to talk to a lot of people, whether it's via text or through like video calls. Here in the UK, they don't have at all during term time. There's no single like family day or Thanksgiving. So we're basically working the entire 11 weeks. So I feel like on the weekends, I'm like always studying to catch up with what's going on. But at my residence, they have a couple of events that they run every week. So sometimes it could be like a massage event, and you just go to a massage place and they give you free money. Yeah, you literally.
I wish I knew about this.
So
changed my living.
I know it's a little luxury student residence, but yeah, they have events every week, which kind of also keeps me sane. So different things like this, or like I would go to different grocery stores. Sometimes I like to compare prices of things. So you could find me in Aldi or in Tesco or in the farmers market in the new street, not downtown. What's it called? In the city center, and just doing things that little things, but they make me happy nonetheless.
Yes.
So that's how I do the self-care situation.
I like that a lot. I think also like comparing I love grocery stores. Those are my comfort. Like if no matter where I am in the world, even if I'm like in like a different country, I know I can find my solitude in a grocery store. It's like, it's very like, it's almost like a church in a way. It's like, I love a grocery store.
It's fun. Like I want to know, am I saving like 1 penny or like, I don't know.
Oh, absolutely.
It makes me feel good. I don't know.
And there's a problem solving it, like, because it's not like you're doing it passively. Like that's like a lot of.
It's a lot of math. I don't remember like mathematical numbers and figures, but prices when they change, I remember what it is, the items, and I would walk to another store for a difference of 5 pence.
Yes.
But hey,
and it's probably served you well living in the UK because it is so expensive.
Oh yeah, it is. It is.
Living out here, so.
Yeah. Did I answer your question?
You did. You answered it very well.
That was an easy question. Thank you.
Yeah. Good. Oh yeah. No.
You have another one.
I'm gonna ask you about co-ownership now.
Oh no. I mean, I did the landlord seminar, so I might actually know that.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That'll be my off the
camera. Okay.
Question.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that'll be it for today. Thank you so much, everyone. If you've watched up until this point, thank you so much. I hope you learned something new from Kate's experience. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, remember to like, share, subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you get notified whenever I post my videos. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Leave a comment. I'll catch you all in our next videos. Bye.
Bye.